If you're getting ready to start a business, you've probably wondered how to build business credit without having to use your personal credit. They're very different things. And if you're going to build a business, it benefits you greatly to build your business credit. Hey there, my name is Mike Fritz. I'm the founder of Titanium Capital Investments and Power Up Real Estate. And on this channel, our greatest passion is helping people just like you create businesses and invest in real estate to create a life of freedom. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you get notified every single time we do a video. And this video is brought to you by our free business startup checklist. So when you're starting a business, you don't miss any of the details that you need to really get launched. So when you're building your business credit, the first thing you want to know is there's a couple things I want you to avoid, because when you're starting a business, there's a couple landmines I want to make sure you don't hit. I don't want you to remain a sole proprietor, because when you remain a sole proprietor, it's often tied to your personal credit. It's often tied to you as a person. We want to distance you from the business and create an entity that's apart from you, and this will give you the opportunity to really start scaling and growing that business credit. But a lot of people, when they start a business and it's just them and they're a one-man or a one-woman band, it makes sense. Just start a sole proprietor and just start running your business. But it's really tough to build business credit when it's tied to who you are and your credit. So we want to separate those. The second thing I want you to avoid is sharing financial accounts. I don't want you to use your personal checking or personal savings account for your business expenses when money is coming in and out. If you're an employee, you go to work, that's fine. That is your personal income. But when you start a business, you want to separate those and have money anytime you pay bills come out of that account, and anytime you make money, it goes into that account. Again, that's a way to build business credit. So you got to make sure you separate those accounts and don't what they call commingle funds. And depending on how big you get, commingling funds is actually a pretty big no-no in the CPA world, and making sure that your taxes and you're actually claiming all the money that you're making, and making sure that every expense that you're claiming actually is a business expense. So you want to separate those and make sure you avoid really commingling those accounts. Commingling those accounts, if I can just say this and love on you, that's kind of a rookie move. You want to move that aside and set up your own business account, which we'll talk about in a minute. The third thing is agreeing to personal credit checks. When people want to check your credit or check your credit score, your personal credit score, when you're seeking to build something, you really want to start to avoid that, because when they're checking your personal credit score, it attaches to your personal credit. So you want to distance it so you can allow the business to stand on its own 2 feet. And there is a way to do that. I'm going to walk through that now. But you want to not, when you're building your vendor accounts and when you're starting to grow the business, which again, we're going to lay out here in a minute, I don't want you allowing personal credit checks, because that again is leveraging any success you have in business. It's going to build your personal credit, but it's not going to build your business credit. So we want to build that business credit apart from personal credit. So these are a couple things to avoid when we launch down this road. Now let's get into what do you need to do to start building your business credit. So the first thing you do when you build a business is you start with your name. When you start with a business name, you want to identify your business through your brand. Now, I want you to think a little bit differently about brand. A lot of times we think about brand and you think maybe Apple or Nike, and it's just one word with a logo. That's how I want you to start thinking. I want you to think of an image that is your brand, an image that is your brand. If you see an image in the corner of this video that's MF, that stands for multifamily, and it stands for Mike Fritz. That's my brand, because I help people really invest in real estate and build businesses. So I want that logo to be associated with somebody that you can come to learn about businesses and real estate. So again, when you're building your name, I want you to choose a name for your business that really identifies who you are. But here's a quick side note on choosing your name. Please don't get cheesy and don't get cute with this. This is not a place to pull in, Harley Davidson's USA kind of idea where, you love riding motorcycles, so you're going to make your brand around riding motorcycles when you build websites. That's not what you do. You don't pull your hobbies. I love to play golf. Golfing is not in my brand anywhere. I do a lot of business on the golf course, but it's not part of my brand. My hobbies don't match my brand. I love to backpack. That's not part of my brand. My wife and I love to vacation and travel. That's not part of my brand. Now, it's part of my personality and who I am, but your brand is specific to your business. It needs to be memorable, something that somebody says and can memorize quickly and just kind of understand, oh, that's what you do. Don't make people have to dig for what you do. Make your name easy. I have a speaking company that I train college, universities, and corporations on team engagement. My business name is Engage Now International because it's all around engaging teams. So I travel the country and do a lot of speaking on helping engage leaders inside of teams. As we've grown our companies, we've taken those principles and applied them to other people. But Engage Now International talks about engagement. That's what it is. It's not cute. It's not flashy. It's just clear. And that's what I want you to do with your business name. Then after you get your business name, I want you to go to check and see if the domain's available. You want to check the domain or the URL, meaning is the website domain available? So there's a couple places I look. I look on GoDaddy.com or Namecheap.com, and you could buy the domain. Basically, you go there and let's say the name of your business, Engage Now International was mine when I first started speaking. So I typed in Engage Now International. That was available, so I bought that. But then I thought, that's really long, so I just said, is Engage Now available? That wasn't available. So then I put Engage Now INTL. Well, that's international. That's kind of what international stands for when it's abbreviated. So my website is EngageNowINTL.com. And so you go there, and that's my website domain. So you want to make sure you go and get your website domain next, and you're probably going to get that through GoDaddy.com or through Namecheap. And those are two places that I trust that have a good reputation of being able to provide good service to you as a domain holder. I hold all kinds of domains. We hold poweruprealestate.com, titaniumcapitalinvestments.com for the different businesses I own. So the truth is, for you, right when you get a business name, you want to see if that domain's available. Then you want to take that name and register it in the state you do business in. And this is going to be either in the form of an LLC or a S Corp or a C Corp. Most people are going to start out with an LLC. Now, you can do a DBA or a doing business as and make it a sole proprietor, but the thing is about a sole proprietor or a DBA, it doesn't have as much protection as a limited liability company or an LLC. So you want to really start with an LLC is my recommendation. Now, the other thing, when you do a DBA, or again, you're kind of sliding back into that sole proprietor that we want to avoid. We want to come over into an LLC that's a company. So then we want to go and register, and you can do that straight through the IRS's website, or you can even call into the State Department or wherever you live and do it over the phone. It's most easy to just do it online, fill out the paperwork online, and then you'll pay a fee depending on what state you live in. You'll have to pay what's called a filing fee, and you can register your LLC inside that state that you're going to claim your taxes in. And so wherever you live is usually the best place, unless you live in a state like California or some of these states that are a little harder on LLCs. You can put it in another state, but remember, you need to make sure that you have some sort of residency in that state. Or some sort of attachment to that state, or it can get a little hairy. So you want to register most likely where you live. Then after you register your name, you're going to get your EIN number, your employee identification number. So you go to the IRS's website, you put in your information that you've got in your LLC paperwork, and you get your EIN number. That EIN number is your business identification number. It basically says this is the essentially kind of the social security number of a business. And so you go and you get your EIN number, and that's going to allow a lot of things that you can do. But you got to get that EIN number first. Then you're going to take that EIN number and your LLC paperwork, and you're going to go and open up a business bank account. So you're going to open up a checking account and a savings account at your local bank. You could do it usually at the same bank that you do all your banking at. That's what I did. At the bank that my wife and I had our accounts at, I just opened a business account up at that bank. But they have to, if it's going to be a business account, they need that EIN number in that registration. So you have to bring that paperwork with you, or else they won't be able to open up a business account for you. So open up a business account, you got to bring that paperwork. That's why it's so important to register and get your EIN before you go to the bank. Then you're going to get your free DUNS number. They call it a DUNS number, or a Dun & Bradstreet number, and you can get a free number, and this is the number for you as you build your business credit. So when you go there, you place in your number, and you can see what your business credit score is. So you're going to get a free DUNS number, and you can go to Dun & Bradstreet and get that number. Dun & Bradstreet is one of the largest business credit bureaus that do credit reporting. You can do Experian or Equifax, but Dun & Bradstreet's been around the longest. It's kind of the 1,100-pound gorilla in the space. So go get a free DUNS number. So as you're continuing these next steps I'm going to share, that DUNS number you can check and see as it goes up, and you can check and watch that thing continue to grow. But you have to have that number. So go to Dun & Bradstreet and get your free number. The next thing you're going to do is start opening vendor accounts, and request vendors allow you to be what's called net 30. Net 30 means you get their service and then you don't have to pay for 30 days. The value of that is when you get a product or service and you don't have to pay for 30 days, every time you pay that off, it builds your credit. It shows that you can take something and pay the bill, take something and pay the bill. And so when you get vendor accounts, you can get net 30 accounts and you can pay those off as you get supplies. And guess what's going to happen? Your income's going to go up. Now, when you open those accounts, one of the big things is to make sure and ask and see what type of income do I need to spend with you? How much money do I need to spend for you to report this to Dun & Bradstreet and the credit bureau? Because if they don't report it, it doesn't matter. We got to get that reported. And so you want to know from your vendors, what do I need to spend in order to get this reported so that I can build my business credit? The cool thing about vendor accounts as well is it opens up great relationships. Part of business is building relationships. And when you're building relationships with vendors, you might build a relationship with a vendor who may know another customer base for your business. Vendors are not just suppliers, they're also relationships, and they can become great relationships and friends. The suppliers over the years that have worked for me, I still have relationships with some of them. And so building relationships with them is a great way to continue to grow your business. But those vendors strategically are great places to build that business credit because you can open up net 30 accounts. And my goal is to open up anywhere from 3 to 5 when I start a business. So when you want to build your business credit, think of 3 to 5 suppliers that would supply you or offer you or give you whatever you need to run your business. You know, Uline is a big shipping company and they use all kinds of shipping supplies. You can go there. You can maybe software companies, SaaS companies. If you need online softwares, we use a lot of ClickFunnels accounts and active campaigns and all of the things that we can communicate with our customers. See if they can report that to a business account, or to the business credit bureau, so that you can continue to grow that number. But again, open up your vendor accounts, see if you can get net 30. Then you're going to want to apply for a business credit card. You don't want to continue to use your personal credit card for business expenses and then have the business reimburse you. It's better to have a business credit card so you can just use that credit card for that business. So again, it continues to grow that income. Now, when you grow your credit score, now when you get that credit card, a business credit card, it might not give you a very high limit. That's okay. That's okay. Just use it and pay it off. Use it and pay it off, and do that every single month. Don't let that go into where you're backlogged on debt and you're not paying those off, because that'll hurt your credit score. So you want to use it, pay it off, use it, pay it off. Might not be a high limit at first, but you can expand it over time as you prove trustworthy and you prove you can handle the revenue. And again, I want to make sure I hit on, just don't miss payments. You want to build business credit, please don't miss payments, because when you miss payments, guess what's going to happen? It's going to go down and you're going to be upset and you're going to feel like, man, I can't. Please just don't miss payments. Do everything you can. Work hard. Don't overextend yourself to where you can't make those payments, because you need to grow at the rate that your revenue is growing. Grow at the rate that your income is growing. Don't go take a bunch of accounts out and buy a bunch of stuff without any customers yet, unless you have the money to back that up. So again, just make sure you don't miss payments. And then just check your number frequently. Check that DUNS number frequently. Check in. Where is it going? How is it growing? Is it going up? Is it going down? See what that looks like. I love when I see things going northeast. We check our accounts all the time. We check our analytics online all the time, because we want to see, are we growing? Are we continuing to impact more people? It's the same thing here. Check it frequently. Don't just set it and forget it. Check it to see, is it going up? Is it going up? Is it going up? Is it going down? Did something happen? What do I need to check in on? Because what I learned reading the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, is what gets managed gets changed. What gets tracked gets managed. So if you don't track it, you can't manage it. If you don't manage it, it doesn't change. And so the idea here is you want to track it. Look at it so you can manage it and adjust. The only reason I want you looking at that number is to adjust your behavior to make it go up, right? And that's what I want you to do. So continue to check in. But I also want to make sure you have a free business startup checklist, your very own, that you can check off and make sure you have everything as you launch your business. And if you go into the description and click that link, we have a free gift for you. You can get your own copy of the free business startup checklist. So as you're starting, you don't miss anything. And make sure, again, we have loads of videos on this channel of building your business, investing in real estate. So make sure you watch those videos and really, really take time to input into your brain so your business changes. I'll see you in the next video.